Hey everyone, this is the Schofield Training Podcast. I'm Dr. FJ Schofield. That is
Dr. Fred Schofield.
the one and the only. We're going to
Correct.
get into the power of language part two and talk a lot about both internal dialogue and how you can how we frame the words we use and focusing on framing them in a positive versus a negative light, and how really important how the brain works. So we're going to get into a lot of that, and this is. You've been big on this for a long time. I remember as a kid, we couldn't say I'm okay. When someone asked you how you doing, you couldn't say I'm fine, I'm not bad. You said I'm great, I'm terrific, I'm wonderful. And if you say that enough, you start to believe it.
Correct. It's funny because when you go to travel the world and you go to England where they speak Queen's English, they use different words like, oh, that was brilliant. You go.
Yeah,
And it sticks out. Oh, that's fantastic.
brilliant.
Brilliant.
That is a common British word, brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. But it doesn't mean you're brilliant. It's just they use that a lot.
Yeah,
They use the English language.
sounds good.
We go, oh, that's fine. I mean, for
Doesn't
instance,
sound as good.
Frederick, in communicating, communication is the key. But there's two forms of communication. There's the internal form of communication. Does the doctor actually have the mastery, which is what we're all about, clinical mastery? Do you know the difference, which you do, Dr. Schofield? You know the difference between an atlas that's in alignment and one that's not in alignment. I'll go to the schools today and I guarantee you, and I'm not dogging on the schools, it's the students.
Yeah, it's both. The accreditation now is like there's just so many classes you need that have nothing to do with chiropractic, unfortunately.
Correct.
So you,
Let's just stick to the communication part, Dr. FJ.
I I think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
I think it's
you
fabulous.
see,
Brilliant.
what,
Brilliant.
fantastic.
It's a brilliant idea.
But
So,
when you talk to the patients, that internal communication
with yourself.
with yourself, are you going in there in alignment? That means the negative talk is low. But you're
Yeah, you shouldn't.
busy. You got other
Yeah.
patients going on, and you just had a patient who's you didn't spend enough time with.
Well, and that's that. A lot of that is all internal, and that's one thing you've always been big on is training yourself so you can get into that peak performance state where the mind's quiet and you just boom, boom, boom. It's not was I there with them long enough? Was I there with them short enough? It's just you did what you had to do and you moved on to the next.
Well, that's not service, you see. You're not serving that patient. When you're listening to the outside, not the inside.
Yeah, you got to be quiet on the inside, which takes training. It's not easy.
Well, that's why we call it the Schofield training, don't we
I think so. So, in a great way, I mean, you can listen to what you say to yourself, but then you just start listening to the words you use throughout the day, throughout the week, and you'll see so many times you talk to yourself negatively. So, for instance, you'll have people that are like, well, I'm always late. Well, I'm out of shape. I don't look, I look ugly in that. I look fat in this. I'm terrible at that. And they're just constantly affirming the negative. Instead of saying I'm terrible at math, you just say, well, I need to work better. I need to work harder at math. I'm getting better at math.
I'm struggling with mathematics. Well, go get a tutor. Do something about it. But don't keep saying to yourself, I suck at math.
Yeah, there's no benefit to that. So you just say, I'm getting better at math.
I was a genius at math because the math teacher was our rugby coach. So when we did geometry, he drew angles, and rugby is running at angles.
Mm-hmm.
You tackle better if you're right-handed with your right hand. You tackle weaker in your left hand, so you would run at his left side, not his right side. I bet they never taught you that at Palmer College in the rugby team. Run at a guy's weaker hand. Did they now?
I'm not sure.
No, I'm sure. We played, and just on a rugby field, just think about it. If you kick with your right foot, you're probably going to kick towards their left foot or to their right foot. Yeah, because the arc will swing and you kick that ball. When we played soccer, I used to teach you, we played to their left side of the field because that was their left foot.
Weaker foot, usually.
And it was our stronger side, so we put all our strong players on their weak side. And we attacked down that left-hand side. I bet you can't even remember that.
Soccer strategy we're getting into. Soccer.
I was a hell of a coach, man. You guys had a little... Your sphincters were a little tight when I came to town. Yeah, baby. You guys performed like nobody else.
Oh, I love it.
How many kids got a college scholarship on that little team? It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
We had the quarterback at San Diego State. We had who was that one little guy?
They loved soccer so much they went and played the other sports.
No, that one became a pro.
They very impacted you.
What was his name?
You impacted them. Yeah, Josh. He played professional soccer.
Josh played professional. He's still coaching today.
Yeah, nice guy.
Kenny Wood still coaches soccer.
Yeah, Kenny, what a nice guy.
In Colorado. They were all nice guys. They just knew that when I showed up, they started to listen. Funny how that is. Anyway, getting back to the science of communication.
Brilliant.
See? Your emotions, your attitudes, your thoughts, your feelings, your perceptions all have to do with your inner programming, conditioning.
Yep.
And when you get that going on, you first work on yourself, then you work on communication with the patient.
Yeah, because you'll see. I mean, you'll see these people, and I'm not worth this, and whatever. I'm bad at this, and they have this really weak, negative internal programming and conditioning, and you got to change that first if you want to really be successful and achieve. You got to first start building yourself up, because it's going to be hard. You're not going to get handed anything. It's going to be tough. So you got to have that internal strength. And I love that quote. We've talked about it. If there is no enemy within, the enemy without can do me no harm.
Correct. The first thing you do as a student is you put $100 in your wallet. Now, you can't say I don't have money.
Yeah, I remember you had me and this other guy, when we would adjust each other, we'd both exchange $50 to just start creating that worth, that feeling of worth and value for your skills and your adjustment and your service. Which is good no matter what.
Schofield Chiropractic training has been renowned for the inner technology, the inner technology. You can put on a rugby boots on a monkey, and we did. We had a few monkeys on our rugby team.
So, anyways, getting back to the internal language. So, yeah, just listen. I just knew that would happen. I knew it was going to happen. I knew those people. I knew that lunch and learn wasn't going to go well, and then you show up and you throw out those weak, negative vibes, and of course it doesn't go well.
Correct.
So you have to change that internal, because if you'll see what you're looking for, essentially. You will find what you're looking for. So if you're seeing and saying it's going to go bad, then you're going to go do that screening and people are going to treat you badly, or you're going to do that lunch and learn and people will treat you badly, or you do that report of findings and people walk out the door. Now, everyone's not going to like you. That's just not how the world, that's just not how business works. But having that internal strength is really, really key for handling the adversity and keep moving forward in a positive direction.
Well, one of the biggest motivators he created Combined Insurance Companies of America, W. Clement Stone, and he always used to you have to see the sale. You have to see the patient getting it. You have to see them wanting what you got. Most people just go in and they go, well, this seminar taught me this, and I'm going to just act like him, and it lasts about 3 months and you're done.
Yeah.
Why? Because you didn't change the internal.
Yeah, you didn't change the internal. You didn't develop the skills and the confidence and the capabilities. You were just trying to sell a package.
You get married, as you know, and then you have a little Barney.
Easy.
You have a little Barney. And then you go and give a report of findings and see, you better have a mechanism to clear the mechanism. What?
Yeah. What he means is, sometimes you have these disagreements at home or whatever. There's a little bit of stress.
It's called a Barney.
Yeah, which most Americans won't know what that is.
Yeah, so, they will. They've experienced a Barney.
They've experienced it.
They don't know what it is.
But so you have these tough moments in your life, no matter what it is. And, maybe someone passes away and you got to somehow go to the office and flip the switch. And it's important to be able to do that. Because once you walk in that door, it's not about you anymore. No matter what your business is, chiropractic or other, it's about the people you're taking care of.
Hey, Dr. FJ, Flip the Switch was played by the Rolling Stones, by the way. I just want to let you know that.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Flip the Switch.
So some things to look at. Watch for the phrases like, I don't like this, or I hate doing screenings. And it's like, no, I like that the least.
Yeah.
I like that the least. That's a better way to say, I hate that. No, you don't hate anything. I like that the least. So at least you're affirming the positive. Instead of saying, I'm bad at this, no, I need to work on this.
You've got to love every aspect of practice. Every aspect of it.
But getting better at that.
Some will be higher, like a new patient to us in our office is a higher ranking than a patient who's been with us for 30 years who is on Medicare. Do we love them? Yeah, we do. But they already, but if you get a PI, it's just a higher ranking. You should prioritize your new patients and know so that you know what to, it's all situational communication.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And you're fantastic at that.
Well, and little by little,
you're brilliant.
That's right. As the British would say.
Correct.
And so you start by changing the internal dialogue again, and you want to focus on the positive. So instead of saying I'm always late, or if you have a staff member, don't be late again. No. Be 5 minutes early again. So then you're focused on early. The brain doesn't see in nots, in don'ts.
Correct.
So if you say don't late again, the brain sees late again.
Correct.
So now you're affirming what you don't want. The only time it's okay is if it's in a very high stress, like imminent danger. So in a war zone, don't lift your head up or your head will get blown off. That will work because it's presently imminently dangerous. Or maybe in like a football, whatever. Don't blitz on that package again or you're out of the game.
We just
cancel. That will work.
Change the word don't to I can.
But
I will.
Yeah. You want to focus on the positive, exactly. Instead of don't be late, be on time. Be 5 minutes early.
Correct.
Don't be whatever. Don't be untidy. No, be organized.
Be organized.
You focus on the positive.
You have to systematize your practice, and how you do that is systematize your thoughts.
It all starts with getting really clear up here and then framing everything in the positive light and really building yourself up. Because there's plenty of people, no matter what you do, and we've had it happen, there's going to be people that want to cut you down, and that's part of life. So you got to be able to go through that if you want to be really successful.
When you're good, they want to see you burn.
People get jealous, of course.
Sure they do.
And you've talked a lot about the monkey mind, that little voice, that inner voice that you're not good enough. Why would anyone want to listen to you? Why would anyone pay money for your adjustment?
Right here. He sits right here.
I wondered what that was. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's
an audible. They're doing the audible.
I remember seeing that guy in San Francisco, and he played a guitar, and he had a monkey, and he played a tambourine with his foot, and the other foot had a drum on it. He was the whole band. He didn't make a lot of money being the whole band.
It's exhausting.
But he had a little thing, and you could throw some pennies in. And if you try and run your life like that,
it's exhausting.
Very exhausting. You have to find the routine. The secret is the routine first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that's big. That is really big.
Your routine first thing in the morning.
Well, your habits are everything. You don't. I heard a quote the other day, which I love. You don't choose your future. You choose your habits, and your habits will decide your future.
That's correct.
And the routine is part of that. So you've got to, if you're going to achieve at a high level, you talk about these athletes and they all have routines. It's because you almost have to go on autopilot, really. You can't be thinking, what am I going to eat for breakfast? What am I going to do? That has to, that you there's too many other decisions to be made if you're running your own business and you're dealing with a lot of people and you want to achieve at a high level. So you have to really go on autopilot for that stuff. So now you can set your physiology to a clock where, at 7 a.m. when you walk into that office, you're ready to roll every day, whenever it's called on. And when you come back between whatever, at 2, you're ready to roll. And you can just boom, 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 boom. And then you have the surplus of mental and physical energy. But if you're constantly like this, it's just exhausting and overwhelming.
Did you see that game Minnesota in the playoffs?
Oh, man, what a game, man.
Did you see that
Great.
last? Did you see that last? Did you see the energy of the whole state of Minnesota?
So fun. So fun.
They couldn't believe it. They threw their helmets off.
Who did? I thought the game was. Everyone thought the game was over. I mean, if you did that, if you ran that play again in that situation 1,000 times, Minnesota would lose 1,000 times.
Correct.
It's just one of those plays that makes sports so much fun.
But that's the same thing in practice. See, you've got to sometimes trust. He just threw it up and trusted.
Well, you got to go. Yeah, I mean, you just.
And the guy who caught it didn't know that the other guy wasn't going to tackle him. He had 2 guys to tackle him. All they had to do was wait for him, catch the ball, game over.
I know.
But there was energy. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where you were.
Oh, you weren't?
I was a little confused.
See, when you're clear and you throw it with confidence, you give that adjustment with confidence. You do the consultation with inner confidence, not outer confidence. Don't fake it till you make it. That doesn't work.
No, you got to really get good at what you're doing. And a lot of people want to cut that. They want to cut through that. They don't want to put in the hard hours to get really, really good.
The 1 hour work week. Doesn't work.
Yeah. No, it doesn't work. Now, I will say this. It gets easier. Practice now, 7 years in, is much easier than it was 7 years ago.
Well, 7 years.
I'm 7 years more skilled. I'm 7 years more. I've been putting in my time, and then you create this team around you, and you increase your skill. And years ago, I mean, I'll never forget, I was about 6 months into practice, and this lady came in, and she was waking up at night, and she wasn't able to see. And then she'd wake up at night and not be able to speak, and wake up at night and not be able to hear. So cranial nerves, upper cervical is where you're thinking. But at the time, I didn't have the skills to diagnose and adjust with the precision necessary to help someone with such a severe issue. And I was scared. I was really like, geez, do I want to touch this lady? Do I not want to touch this lady? So, of course, she never came back. I never got to adjust her. She could sense the fear and the uncertainty, and she never came back. And I knew, I have to get better. And so I've done seminars and I got into upper cervical big time, and I love it. It's not for everybody. But now, 7 years later, I have people come in with Meniere's disease, and they can barely, and I no problem. Boom. I know what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And it's just the skill level. So you develop the experiences, you created the capabilities, and it gets a lot easier.
I never had that problem. You
did. You're naturally talented.
Just natural. That's what everybody thinks. They think you didn't go to.
Well, it's like Roger Federer. No one sees that he's been hitting the ball every day since he was 5 years old, and he has natural abilities too. Not everyone. A lot of people could play since they were 5 and not hit a ball like Roger, for sure. But when you combine your natural talents with a lot of discipline and work ethic, the results are extraordinary.
Unbelievable.
Or brilliant.
Brilliant.
Okay. So focus. The take home here is really pay attention to the words you're using. Are you framing things? No, don't do this. Don't do that. We shouldn't do this. No. We do this. So you frame everything in a positive light. Listen to that inner voice, that monkey mind that doubts you. You're not worth this. Why would anyone want to listen to you? Why should we do that? And start reprogramming it. So there's always a little bit of doubt, but there's a difference between doubt and moving through it and crippling fear, where you just don't think you're worth it. And so pay attention to those things, and it will, if there's anything that will change your life, changing the internal dialogue, which you've talked about many times, is massive.
Okay.
Would you like to close with any other?
No, that was perfect. Thank you.
Would you like to talk about some soccer strategy again?
No, that was brilliant.
So, if you're out there and you enjoyed this, and you know anyone that this could help, please share it with them.
Yeah.
And if you have any comments, questions, we'd love to hear it. And if not, have a fabulous week. Keep charging.
God bless. Mochichu.
Till next time.